I wasn't really looking to review another iOS controller, but it looks like I'm going to. Hey everybody, it's Chris from FamilyGeekery, and today we are going to look at a RiotPWR or RiotPWR lightning connected controller. And I just happened to stumble upon this the other day at Best Buy, and I'd seen these before, but I always thought they were overpriced, and I've never heard of this brand before, so I never even really looked at them. I've been very happy using the Backbone that I did a review on a couple weeks ago, and I did a follow-up just about a week ago on that controller, and I've had a good time with that. But this one, the problem is, I was looking through my Best Buy, I saw the RiotPWR Xbox edition, which I'll put a link to, and I'll flash a picture up right here. Let's see, maybe right here. And it was like $70, so $69.99. And I thought, well, why would you even look at that? Just go get yourself a nice Xbox controller if you don't have one. Get yourself a little phone clip, and you're done. So I didn't even think twice about it. But then I was walking around and I found a clearance section, and this one was sitting there, and this one was $30. So then, okay, I got to take a look at that now. So I carried this one over to where the other one was and kind of compared the boxes, and the other one that they were selling for $70 is clearly marked as the Xbox edition, and it's got, on the screen here, it's got like the Xbox Cloud Gaming on it. The little home button right in the middle here has an Xbox logo on it. So I'm guessing that's the one they're pushing now, since that cloud gaming is really popular. But this one, it looks exactly the same, except this isn't the Xbox version. This may be, I don't know, the 7-Up version, because it's clearly got different colors. But the hardware looks the same. So for $30, after doing all the testing on the Backbone, I've already got my phone set up for it. I'm going to give this a shot. So like I said before, I wasn't too sure. I didn't really ever want to try one of the, the silly phone clips that you can buy for your Xbox controller. They sell them for anywhere from $10 to $20, and it just clips onto your Xbox controller and you put your phone on there. And the thing is with those, the biggest difference between that and this is, for that, it's going to definitely be Bluetooth controlled, right? This one has a lightning connector on it. And that's what typically makes these controllers, when they're the iOS versions, when they're that made for iPhone, that typically makes them a little bit more expensive, because they have to pay that license to Apple to get that lightning connector on it, as opposed to all the Android ones that just use USB-C or Bluetooth. These are always going to be a little bit more expensive. So for $30, we're going to crack this thing open and see what the quality of the joystick is itself, see how well it works, and who knows, maybe have some fun with it. But before we open it up, let's look at the rest of the markings on the box. Nothing on the top and bottom. This is all just the other languages. That just mimics what's on the front. So here we go on the back. It says, Clean Connect for interference-free gameplay. Okay, I guess that's a trademark that they're using to say that we're going to make it a wired controller. They could have just said it's a wired controller. Most gamers understand what that means. 0G mobile device holder for optimum mobile gaming experience. Another trademark that they're paying for, 0G, and they've even got logos for these. So I'm not sure what that means. And lightning connected for latency-free gaming. And they've even trademarked latency-free for some reason. And I guess that's what this LF connector is. I'm guessing about 15 of the $30 I paid for this thing is going to their trademark fees. And that's really not necessary. You just put on the front here, wired controller. Most gamers know what that means. That means no latency. It says it's got power pass-through charging. So it's got a lightning port on it that you can charge through it. A share button for sharing your gameplay. And we saw that on the Backbone, but to get that working on the Backbone, you have to pay for that extra service. That Backbone Plus or whatever it was. So we'll see how this one takes care of that. And then it's got a headphone jack, so that's nice. and a limited lifetime warranty. Alright, so let's go ahead and crack this thing open and get to the controller. Alright, let's open this bad boy up. See what we got here. Alright, so it looks like it does come with a map or an app. So that may be what enables that button to share to something. This must be our phone clip. Isn't that cute? White plastic with little yellow bumpers to keep it from scratching up your phone. And here's the controller. So it looks like we got a little port here to plug in that clip. We definitely got a wire on there, and hey, that's a lot longer than what I was expecting. So on the package, that's all you see. But this has definitely got some length to it. So that's given me some ideas, even as I'm recording this, to try some different things with it. So it definitely feels solid. It feels very much like a Xbox controller. So let's go ahead and unwrap this thing. I'm going to plug this clip in and maybe get a phone hooked up to it. Alright, so when I pulled this thing up, it is captive, which is nice. I'm not going to lose that. And I don't know why they're protecting it anyways. Maybe it's just cosmetic. But there's not like there's any electronic contacts in there that you want to keep dust out of. And you can see the length of the cord. It's definitely got some length to it, which I'm guessing is what this channel right here is for. It's to tidy up your cord after you have your phone hooked up. That way you can clip it and it's not just dangling out of your way. So this guy here just unfolded. And that's going to clip into there. So let's drop it first and then try. It's pretty easy. Has pretty solid feel to it, but it clips in there very nice. I was expecting to have to like jam it in there to get it to stay secure, but you can see pretty secure, which is nice because obviously you're not worried about dropping your controller. You're worried about the controller dropping your phone. So that's pretty nice. And this thing right here, if you've ever used one of these, you know, maybe a tripod adapter to put your phone on so you can take pictures with a tripod, then you know what this feels like. But this one actually feels a lot higher quality. Like the tension feels very universal. A lot of these I've felt where it's like really hard, really hard, really hard, and then it feels like it's going to like pull right out. And this one feels very nice. So the springs in there, I don't know if they have multiple springs in there, but it gives it a very professional feel to it. So much better than the cheapy ones that usually come with tripod adapters. So far so good. Got some adjustment. Obviously you won't want to have it like that, but it looks like there's a little bit of adjustment angle-wise when you're viewing it. And let's get the beefy hands up on here. Doesn't look like my thumbs would get too much in the way, especially this right thumb. I was concerned about that banging into the phone holder. Doesn't feel too bad. I can get to all the buttons. Maybe the start and select buttons might be a little awkward with that clip there, but it feels alright. And overall quality of the buttons, the ABXY feels good. These guys feel good. This is a little shallow, like there's not much movement to it. But I guess it's okay. And then these here, the X or the L1 and the R1, they're very clicky. And the triggers, they're not too bad. They're a little shallow also, not a whole lot of play to them, so I'm not sure what the dead zones are going to be on it. But not too bad. And one nice thing about it, since it plugs into the lightning connector, I don't think you need to charge it. I don't think there's any internal batteries to it. Maybe I should read some instructions. So let me figure that out, and let me get a phone, and I'll be right back. Alright, so here it is with the phone attached to it, and for reference, this is a iPhone 8 Plus, so it's the bigger version of the 8, and I've been using this for backbone testing pretty much because, one, I don't want to take my own regular phone out of my case, and two, I'd rather see the performance of the cloud gaming on an older device to see how well it works, and knowing that the newer devices would just be even better. So I've been playing some Forza 5. This is on the Xbox cloud gaming, and it's working great. The cloud gaming, I'm pretty impressed with it. And as far as the controller goes, the everything about the controller is fine. The buttons, the joysticks, the control itself is fine. The one thing that I do wish would change is this thing right here. The phone holder itself. It's definitely sturdy, but it's stationary, right? There's nowhere it can go. It can tilt up and down, like we had mentioned before, but that's it. It's always going to be straight up on top of the device, which is a little weird, because here's, by comparison, here is one of those phone clips, and this happens to be a clip that goes onto, let me grab it for you, this little handheld, this little 8-bit do. So that clips right on there, and now I know we're comparing probably one of the best controller companies up against a controller company I've never heard before, but that shouldn't matter. This right here has a pivot point at the bottom at the base and a pivot point at the screen, so you can adjust any way that you want. If they added that right here, and if they made it adjustable, then that would be a lot better, because I was playing it and it wasn't uncomfortable, but I was forced to hold my hands, my wrists, at a particular angle, right? There was no, I couldn't adjust my hands any different angle, because this won't go, it'll only pivot this way, and I'm not gonna do that. I wish it would just move back away from the controller a little bit. That's really my only gripe. Everything else seemed to work fine. Now, I didn't have to use this D-pad very much, but you probably won't on this kind of cloud gaming. So other than that, the cord is definitely plenty long, and the keeper is here to keep it from, I guess, falling in front of the screen. That would be bad. And it did have a little Velcro keeper on it, so that when you travel with it, you can coil it up. So that's pretty good. But overall, like I said, my only real gripe is just the phone holder angle. The controller itself is fine. So let me take this phone off. I'm going to show you a couple other things. Alright, so in the box there were no instructions. I was going to look up to see what some of the buttons did, and this guy that we saw when we opened up the package, that's it. So there is a link here to the manual, and then a link to the app. Now the app, from what it looks like, it just has a curated list of all the different apps that an iOS controller can work with, perfectly, and it's just a curated list, really. There is, in the app also, it said that it can change the firmware. You can update the firmware from that app. So I didn't download it yet, but I will, just to see if there's any updates for the firmware. But when I was reading the manual, I found it interesting that it said it's a removable cable. And it sure didn't look removable. But as it turns out, if you put a pin in that little hole there, this whole little module here will slide out. Now, it said the only reason you'd ever want to do that is if you wanted to get this repaired or replaced. So at least it is nice that if your cat or dog chews this thing up, you can hopefully purchase this as long as they still make one. But that is an okay feature. But the other thing I noticed, the start and the select buttons, they're kind of flush, and I don't know if that's on purpose. Actually, all these buttons are kind of flush, so you got to kind of like use the tip of your finger to push these down. They're not raised up, but that's just a small gripe. And then I did hit this share button while I was playing the game, and basically what it did was it just took a screenshot of my phone. So that's okay. That's easy enough. I don't need any special app to share or stream off with this thing. So that's pretty cool. So one more thing to show you with this after I did some more gameplay. So as soon as I saw the length of this cable, and then I played a little bit with the snap-in controller or snap-in phone holder that like I said before doesn't rotate a whole lot, it did get me thinking, and it got me thinking of this. So here is just a little tablet stand and an iPad mini, and this is an iPad mini 5, so it still has the lightning connector on it. And I've been playing Forza with this a little bit, and I gotta tell you, this is the way to go. This is the damn near perfect portable gaming solution. The screen is big enough that you can see the other cars coming towards you. You can read some of the text without having to squint too much. And the cable is definitely long enough. You can set this on a table or a desk and still be able to sit in a chair away from that table or desk and have plenty of cable to be comfortable while you're sitting. So this right here, this is pretty good. I've been wanting to try out one of these types of controllers on a iPad mini, and of course the backbone just isn't big enough to go all the way around it. Obviously you can use a Bluetooth controller, but this right here, I think this is going to be my use case for this particular controller. If I go traveling somewhere and just have an iPad mini with me and just want a small portable, you can almost fit this in your pocket if you get cargo pockets, like some dad shorts. But this is the way to go. Get rid of this thing if you don't need it, which is nice that it does plug in and come out pretty easily, and I guess that's why you got that dust cap on there, because maybe they knew people would be taking it off and playing with the long cord. So that's pretty cool. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. Just a quick little introduction to this RiotPWR or RiotPWR. And I know this company, I have found some other devices made by them before. They made one that was a Bluetooth controller before, and like I said, they're still making new ones, like the one that I found in Best Buy with the Xbox logo on it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got something out of it, gotta hit that like button. Gotta feed the YouTube robots. And if you like this kind of stuff, I've got more controllers than I know what to do with, and I've got more controllers yet on the list to review. So if you want to see some more controller reviews, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Look at my back catalog of videos, see what else I've reviewed in the past. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, peace out and geek out.